Hey, what's up guys, Mendel here. Hope you're all doing awesome and wonderful. So in this video, we're gonna dive into mixing metal snares. So as always, let's dig right in. Here we go. All right, so here we are in Cubase. Now this is a project I'm working on and I thought it would be a good example for this video, like focusing on the snare drum. Now there are three things that are pretty important before going into mixing, which is the phase alignment and the polarity, the snare sample, the correct snare sample if you're using snare samples, and the room mics. So the first one is polarity. So for an example, I have a snare here and the snare sample over here. And when the polarity is on the wrong way around in this case, it loses some body, but watch what happens when I put it back in. So before going into mixing, double check if like the polarity and everything's in phase, like with your overheads, the close mics, depending on the drum kit you have. But make sure all of that is correctly like aligned and like the waveforms are correct, because if that's not the case from the get-go, it's very hard to get like a full sounding mix. So make sure you check that beforehand. Now the second thing is the correct snare sample. What do I mean by that? Now, sometimes you could be EQing everything you want and it just doesn't fit the mix. Perhaps the best thing you could do is just change snare sample. I had a lot of cases where I was EQing stuff and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna change the snare sample, and then it sounded way better and didn't even need a lot of EQ. So make sure you have the right snare sample for the song. Now the last thing and the third thing is rooms. Now I like to use rooms in my productions. So when we take, for example, I have the snare soloed here and I'll also solo the room. Now watch what happens to the snare when I mute the rooms. So here we go. So in my opinion, without the room, the snare becomes a bit 2D, like there's not a lot of depth. So in my productions, I like some snare rooms in my mixes. Now let's take a listen to the song. Everything is mixed already except for the snare drum. So here we go. All right, so when I listen to this song, I think the snare is already like in the right place from the get-go. But there are some things that are bothering me that I want to fix, basically. And the first thing I notice is that the snare drum is like a bit dull. So that already sounds better to me. And I hear this mid thingy pokey thing coming through. Right, sounds pretty good. Now I'm going to take a listen to the snare sample. Also sounds good, but it could be a tad bit brighter. All right, now let's take a listen to it in the mix. All right, so that sounds way better. I like where it sits. It's a bit brighter. It's a bit more snappier. I love snappy snares. That's, at least in my mix, that's how I like them. Now what I'm gonna do is, so I've routed the snare and the snare sample to a snare bus, and I'm just gonna do two things. So I already have a multi-band compressor in here because the low end of the snare sample and the original snare get a bit stacked up, and it could be that there's a bit too much like low mid thump on the snare. So instead of EQing that, I like to use a multi-band compressor for that. So I have it around this area. I'm just gonna like use my ears to where I like it. So what I'm focusing for, because I can't solo over here, is this part. Just reducing it a tiny bit. Well, it's sounding better in my opinion now. Now the very last thing I do, and sometimes I do it only on the shells bus, because I have it like snare and sample, snare and sample to the snare bus, and the snare bus is routed to kick and snare, and kick and snare is going to the shells. But just in this case, I like to use just the vintage compressor a lot on the snare bus most of the time. So I have the vintage compressor over here. And to be honest, with compression, it really depends what you're going for. Like sometimes you could do like 20 decibels of gain reduction and then blend it in. And sometimes you could do like perhaps 2 or 3 decibels of gain reduction, and that's it. But how I like to set it is attack around 30, release as fast as possible, mix 100% wet, ratio 4:1, and then I'm aiming for perhaps 2 or 3 decibels gain reduction. I think that's enough for this snare on this song. So I'm gonna solo it. So it's a tiny bit more snappy, but I think it's enough for this. All right, sounds pretty good. Now, what I use most of the time, besides the room mics, is also a snare room sample, which I have right here. So I'm gonna solo the drums. I'm just gonna blend it in, and see how it sounds. And how I have it EQ'd is I remove some of that thud of the snare room, and a bit of that mid. So this is what I'm aiming for. I'll just solo it. So this is what I aim for, like to reduce on the snare room sample. That, and there's some mid honk. So take it in consideration together. let's take a final listen to it in the mix. Right, and there you have it. There are some basics for mixing snares. Now, if I could give you a couple of tips, throughout the years, there's one thing I noticed in my productions where when I adjusted it, the production started to sound better. And the main thing was reducing the volume of my close mics. I noticed when I turned my snare volume down, so it was more blended with the room mics. In my productions, it sounded better instead of like being really pokey and really loud. So make sure you check that in your mixes. It could save your mix or it could ruin your mix. It really depends on the sources. But I noticed throughout the years in my mixes when I reduced like the volume of the snare and the snare sample and let a bit more room do the work, that made my production sound a bit more natural overall. So that's one tip I can give you. So, all right, I really hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And until then, see you next time. Cheers.